A project to reduce the number of invasive mink in Scotland is using a sniffer dog to help them control numbers. The Scottish Invasive Species Initiative hopes a Hungarian vizsla can track the American mink to help protect native wildlife. Mink are vicious predators and often travel hundreds of miles, making them difficult to capture. Here's Haley Bouma.
American mink aren't native to Scotland. They were brought here during the 1930s to make fur coats, but some escaped. And since then, ecologists have been trying to control their numbers in order to protect Scotland's native wildlife.
Because they don't have natural predators here, they are very devastating for the wildlife.
They're notoriously difficult to track and trap.
Good girl, well done.
But that's where Bonnie comes in. The 4-year-old Hungarian vizsla can sniff out where they live, allowing her handler Mirella to pinpoint exactly where traps should be laid.
Hungarian wild-haired vizsla are amazing hunting dogs and tracking dogs. I started to train her when she was 6 months old, and then by the end of the summer I felt like she was ready for Goa for her first operation. So when we went out and then she found some tracks and scat, we put a trap there, and a few days later we caught a mink.
Mink live around waterways like this burn here in Aberdeenshire. They can also use rivers and the coastline to travel hundreds of miles around Scotland. They eat ground nesting birds, fish and small mammals like water voles. And where mink are present, well, they have the potential to wipe out local native populations. Mirella works across the northeast of Scotland, sometimes walking for miles a day to lay traps in the right places.
So dogs are great, like they covering huge areas, and then they really selective over, like they can tell us exactly that's a mink scat or it's something else.
The Scottish Invasive Species Initiative covers a broad area of Scotland and has so far caught more than 500 mink over the past 5 years.
Mink are quite nosy, so they will come and see what's on their patch, and they will come in and have a look.
In order to check and monitor the sites in such a vast area, the programme also relies on hundreds of volunteers to help them keep track.
As far as I was concerned, a mink was a beautiful little creature, and when you start to understand what they do to Scotland's native wildlife, it's quite frightening. And seeing the wildlife we've got here already, we have heron, we have deer, we have stoats, water voles. They will get wiped out if the mink aren't controlled.
Where is it?
With projects like this, it's hoped the mink population will continue to decrease over the coming years. Haley Bouma, STV News.